While Charles Leclerc held on to win his first Italian Grand Prix as a Ferrari driver and sparked jubilation among the tifosi at Monza, the team's supposed number one, Sebastian Vettel, had another race to forget. A clumsy shunt with Lance Stroll at the Ascari chicane left an embarrassing mark on what had the potential to be a stellar weekend for Vettel, given his teammates' performance. Vettel made a relatively poor start. He dropped behind the Renault of Nico Hülkenberg early on, but he was soon back into fourth place. He then spun at the Ascari chicane, and it was his actions after that spin that attracted more criticism than the mistake itself. Vettel tried to rejoin the track while other cars were coming past, and he ended up clipping the racing point of Lance Stroll, who was running in 7th at the time. This tipped Stroll into a spin as well, and he rejoined the track clumsily as well, causing Pierre Gasly to run off the track. Afterwards, Vettel claimed that he couldn't see very well to the left because of the high cockpit sides and the halo. He said, "Coming back, I knew that there would be a gap, but I struggled a little bit to get out. I think I was stuck on the grass. I lost a bit of momentum there. It took a bit longer than I expected. So it's certainly not ideal, but I couldn't see anything to the left. It's compromised because we have the high cockpit, but I don't think it's an option to drop that." The recent events in the Formula 2 race at Spa show the devastating consequences when a stationary or slow-moving car is on the track in the path of others. The stewards were not impressed. They handed Vettel a 10-second stop-go penalty, which is the harshest possible penalty short of disqualification from the race. They also gave him 3 penalty points on his licence, describing the incident as dangerous. 3 points is the maximum penalty the stewards can apply to a driver's licence, and it's reserved for the most serious driving offences. If a driver accumulates 12 penalty points in a 12-month period, they receive an automatic 1-race ban. This penalty has taken Vettel's tally to 9 points this season. To avoid a ban, he must complete the next 3 F1 races without accumulating 3 points or more. The points accumulate as a rolling total, so he won't get rid of the current ones until after the Japanese Grand Prix in mid-October. Before Monza, Vettel accumulated penalty points at the British Grand Prix, where he ran into the back of Max Verstappen.
No question this was Vettel's fault.
And at the Canadian Grand Prix, when he went off the circuit and rejoined in Lewis Hamilton's path.
Had Hamilton not backed out, Vettel's unsafe return onto the circuit would have put Hamilton in the wall.
There was also a red flag infringement at last year's United States Grand Prix. So if a race ban happened, who could replace him? Hopefully not Luca Badoa, but one logical choice stands out. In the scenario that Vettel does receive a 1-race ban, it's possible that Ferrari could turn to Alfa Romeo driver Antonio Giovinazzi to stand in for him. That would work, because Alfa could call on their reserve driver Marcus Ericsson. Alternatively, if Ericsson's racing for Schmidt-Peterson in IndyCar, Brendan Hartley could be another candidate. While a race ban is ultimately very unlikely, Vettel is coming very close. On the very weekend Leclerc won Ferrari's home race, it's further proof of how far the 4-time world champion has fallen and how much the dynamic inside Ferrari is changing. And just remember, the narrow streets of Singapore are next, where the chances of wheel-to-wheel contact are that much higher. Will this be an opportunity to start afresh for Vettel? Or will Ferrari's supposed number one make even more rookie mistakes?